What's going on, everyone? Smith here, and this is just some extra footage back from my trip to Tail of the Dragon, but I had a few things I wanted to talk about, and they weren't like entirely connected, but I'm gonna try to rope them all in, because they're all things that annoy me, right? We're gonna call this like the what really grinds my gears segment, but basically we'll start with the thing that just happened the other day, because I kind of had my first actual close call with a car, and it wasn't like at high speed, so it wasn't that dangerous, but still, you know, some person almost ran me over. So I was coming off a main road, turn onto this road, but a few feet into this other road, this like back road, there's another road that ends with a stop sign, and there was a truck coming down the main road that I was turning on. He was trying to turn right into that connecting road, but that stop sign there was a truck at that stop sign. So as that first truck was turning right, that second truck that was sitting there at the stop sign could not see me, and I knew he couldn't see me. When I was pulling up when I was like surveying the whole situation, I'm like, okay, he definitely can't see me, because I just pulled up right as that other guy was turning, and he was blocking the view from me. And I bet my hat this guy's gonna make a left-hand turn. And so my first thought was slow way the hell down, hover over the brakes, hover over the horn, get ready, and, you know, just be prepared to stop. And that would have worked had the guy not pulled out and cut the turn sharp. So rather than go through the gap in the double-sided, the double yellow lines that he's supposed to go through when you're making a turn like that, he cut it extra sharp and came towards me anyway. And I slammed on the brakes, I laid on the horn and everything. He spotted me, he slammed on the brakes, but his vehicle was still pointed right at me, and that really kind of aggravated me, because I anticipated that situation. I thought I prepared for it, but it, you know, clearly something that I did not consider was someone would actually cut that turn sharper than what they're supposed to be doing. And that's what he did. So I got lucky in the sense that he spotted me. I mean, if he did hit me, it would have been a very slow speed accident. You know, he might have just knocked me off my bike. But I think me laying on the horn really saved me there, because it made him, like, as soon as I saw him pulling out, I was like, I'm going to lay on the horn regardless. But then I saw he cut the turn sharp anyway, and ended up coming right at me. So either way, that ended up being the right thing to do. But just, like, keep in mind, you know, other people, because, like, I've watched a lot of safety and, like, defensive riding and driving videos, and that was not really something I had ever really anticipated up until now. Now I'm going to be anticipating that. Next time I run into a situation, anything approximating that, I'm not just going to leave extra room like I typically do. I'm going to leave extra room in case the person cuts the turn sharp. So one of the other things that kind of irks me is, and I think I've mentioned it in previous videos before, but I'm just going to bring it up again. But it is the question of whether or not loud pipes save lives. Okay, I think it's fairly intuitive for most people to recognize that, yes, obviously loud pipes save lives. Like, it's not that difficult to figure out how that would play in, you know. If you can hear the bike before you see it, you're aware of it, and anything that makes drivers more aware of your presence is going to potentially save your life. You know, to what extent it saves lives, and to what extent, you know, does that mean you should get obnoxiously loud pipes? We can have those discussions, but just the sheer question that so many people bring up as to whether or not loud pipes save lives, and you have so many people on YouTube. Again, I'm not trying to call anyone out specifically, but you have a lot of these people on YouTube who say loud pipes don't save lives because there's not enough data or research. It's like, okay, but I'm also not an idiot. Okay, I recognize that if somebody's motorcycle... I've had this happen to me. You know, I've been on the highway. Somebody's motorcycle's making a lot of noise, and I hear them, and am aware of their presence before I see them. Does that mean everybody should go out and get obnoxiously loud pipes for their bikes? Absolutely not. Okay, you don't want to be that guy, and I do not want to encourage anyone to get obnoxiously loud pipes for their motorcycles, okay? But I'm also not going to lie to you about it and sit there and say loud pipes don't save lives and there's no evidence to suggest one way or the other. It's like, okay. You have common sense. We all have common sense. I don't like when people lie, even if it's for a quote-unquote good reason. It's like, I'm an adult. Let me make my own informed decisions on things, okay? Yeah, it aggravates me. But there are quite a few people out there who will insist that loud pipes aren't going to do anything to increase your safety on the road, which is just, it's not true. Like, obviously drivers are going to be they're going to be annoyed with you based on how loud your pipes are, but they are going to be more aware of your presence, which is going to contribute to your safety. There's no two ways about it, okay? Well, you can debate over how much it contributes to someone's safety and, you know, whether or not it's worth being a jerk-off for having obnoxiously loud pipes. You know, there's a bit of a balancing act involved there as well. Like, you want them loud, but you don't want them too loud. You want to kind of, you know, try to figure out where that sweet in-between is, where it's like you're not annoying people, but also, you know, you get close enough to a car and they can hear you. Like, my bike, the Eliminator, has pretty quiet exhaust, and as it is right now, I'm not particularly keen on upgrading it. I may in the future, but I'm actually kind of fine with the quiet exhaust, just because I like the fact that I don't bother my neighbors when I leave for work in the morning. You know, if someone had this same bike and wanted to, you know, mod the exhaust to get a little more of that sport bikey sound out, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So the final thing I wanted to mention quickly is the question as to whether or not well, it's not really a question, I don't think, but just the notion of throttle therapy. So I have a lot of these people out here, and again, not calling anyone out in particular, but a lot of YouTubers seem to be like, oh, therapy is therapy, you know, it's no substitute, throttle therapy is no substitute for an actual therapist. Okay, first of all, back when I was a kid, the thing that was massively overprescribed was ADHD, right? Everybody's kid, every other kid was diagnosed with ADHD. They all had ADHD. They all had to be put on drugs to calm them down and get them to chill out. And I feel like the same thing now is happening just with therapy more broadly. Everybody and their brother needs a therapist, when in reality, maybe you just need to go for a ride on your motorcycle. Maybe you just need to go chill out for a bit, okay? So, and that's the thing that kind of annoys me. Like, yes, therapy is therapy in the extreme cases, but if you're just like a little down or a little, you know, you're not feeling so great, going out for a ride and clearing your head is one of the best things you could possibly do for your mental health, as far as I'm concerned. Like, because it's nothing but you and the open road, and you're just clearing your head and you're relaxing. And you're focusing on a task, and you're seeing new sights, you're breathing the fresh air, and it's great, okay? And I feel like it certainly helps me a lot, and I think it helps a lot of people who otherwise, you know, I think would be rather depressed. So, well, yes, therapy is therapy. I don't think that should kind of undermine the value of quote-unquote throttle therapy, where you just go out for a ride on your bike and clear your head. I think that helps quite a lot. So, and like I said, I think therapy is wildly overprescribed. You know, that's what friends and family are for. If you really want to complain about your problems, you talk to your friends and family. The idea you need to pay some egghead who's probably all screwed up as well hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's silly. And as far as it's being wildly overprescribed, back when I was in college, I could not for the life of me find a girl in college who did not have a therapist. I'm not even kidding. Literally every girl I talked to at one point or another, or was like friendly with at one point or another, would mention that she has a therapist. It's like, why are you all in therapy? Are all of you mental? Are all of you struggling that much? Like, it's crazy. It's like, I don't think you are. I think it's just, again, like when I was a kid and ADHD was like the thing that every other kid was being prescribed with. I think a lot of people who don't necessarily need to be in therapy and could easily settle a lot of their mental kind of issues if they just got a bike and went for a ride. It's certainly worth a shot, if anything else. Something to break up the monotony, you know? So, yes, in extreme cases you should go to therapy and all the rest. But if you're just feeling a little down or kind of in a mood, I'm telling you, getting a bike and going out for a ride can work wonders for you. But that was my short little rant about a few things that have been aggravating me. So, and I had extra footage I wanted to post anyway, so there you go. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one.